Mindfulness mindfulness is something you can't just achieve and go with. It's something you have to achieve every single day of your life. You got to put work to it every single day of your life. This is the same as a lot of other things. It takes a lot of effort to do so, but it's the little power every single day that keeps it going. Think of it as a big like wrecking ball, and you're pushing it over a hill. You're pushing it, and after a while, the hill sort of becomes like stable. So you're pushing it, and this momentum that you created, it's hard at first, but now it's just a simple push. You're doing a little bit every single day, and it's really, really easy to push. So this would be a pretty good habit to start over the summer, since you have so much free time and deep work, all this other stuff that uses your mind really happens when you have a lot of time just directed focusing exactly on that. I actually started my meditation, which is like one of the aspects of mindfulness, exactly like a year ago. I believe it's one day until my 365-day streak that I have right now, but I started it more like in March of last year, I would say. But it's a really, really powerful habit. We're gonna start with journalism though. There's kind of four big aspects, I would say. There's journaling, meditation, reading and learning, and understanding the mind. These are things that are going to help you achieve mindfulness in your life overall, in everyday life. So we're going to cover journaling first, and it's really simple. You pick up a pencil and your notebook and just start writing your feelings, right? Just a diary, right? Well, it's not that simple, but it is really simple. So you pick up a pen and a paper, and what you do, one big type of journaling that there is gratitude journaling. This is the type you should do every single day. Pick up that pen and notebook, and you write 5 things that you are grateful for every single day. So let's say I'm grateful for my water bottle. I see that, and it shouldn't be things you should see, like, oh, I'm grateful for this camera I'm recording on. No, I'm grateful for the tennis game I played yesterday. It was really, really fun. I'm grateful for my family. They've supported me all throughout my life. Write a little reason for it. That's how you get more deep. Because otherwise you can say, oh, I'm grateful for this Lego right here on my desk, and not elaborate. Maybe you're grateful for your parents who bought you that Lego, but you should have that higher level thinking. Now this requires a decent amount of time, this other type of journaling, around like 15 minutes, and it could be even longer. I've done like hour-long sessions of this type of journaling. Basically, you pick up a pencil and a notebook. You can also do this on like Apple Notes or like Notes app, but I would prefer pen and paper. I just have bad handwriting myself, so I would prefer to be able to skim through it. Like, just press the Control F and search. That's why I usually do notes, but notebook is really good. I also do that. But for this other type of journaling, I call it deep journaling. Now, I usually do this once every week or so, and you take 15 minutes at least. Now, before you start, you should have a question. So, for example, I'm trying to think of a question here. Do I really want to be a doctor, or is it just a product of me wanting to impress my parents? Something like that. And it could also be deeper into like who you are, stuff like that, as it requires, as it indicates the name, deep journaling. You should go really deep, not just shallow level thinking like, should I have bought milk tea, or should I have bought coffee? That's a stupid decision. But maybe bigger decisions, such as should I buy this car, or should I save it towards my business? Stuff like that. Maybe that. Now, I usually play some deep journaling music while I do this. It's like a thinking playlist. I'll have it linked in the description in case you want to use it too. I just play that. And because just like deep work, you can't really sit down and automatically be in that flow state. No, you kind of gotta ease into it. So what I start my deep journaling off with is a review of the day. So I say, okay, so I woke up, I did my workout, I drank some juice. That juice is really good. Stuff like that. You go through the day, and by the end of my review of the day, I'll also note like little things like I ate a not so great lunch. I should improve this tomorrow. Like stuff like that. My emotions, stuff like that, how I'm feeling. And then by the end of this, I'm in a flow state, sort of. Now I have really unlocked like a deeper level of the brain, I would say. And this is where I can start getting in the question I put at the beginning of this session. And then you write that, and by the end of it, you should have like every single time I've done this type of journaling, I've had a really good positive outlook on life by the time I end of it, by the time I ended the session. So like I come up to my resolution and I'm like, man, like I really like where I'm going in life, like I really have this purpose and I'm seeking to fulfill it. And I get such fulfillment from my every single day where I work towards this goal, stuff like that. I really have a new profound sense of gratitude by the end of this journalism that I do. By the end of this journaling I do. Next, we're going to cover meditating. So I would say this is similar in journaling and difficulty, but it has a much higher skill cap. So you can start it when you're 14, and by the time you're 80, you're still doing it every single day, but you're a lot closer to reaching this so-called like nirvana, stuff like that, but you're still getting better every single day. Each day is better than the last. There's no, I am the best meditator there is. No, like monks, they work every single day to try to achieve this higher level through their meditation. Same thing with you. You meditate every single day, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even 20 minutes, even an hour. You're still going to be doing this every single day, and each meditation session will teach you something new about yourself and provide a little tick mark, like XP, towards this huge XP bar where you have to level up, and then maybe you reach that, you level up. Okay, now we're at the beginning, and it keeps going. It's like you can go past level 100, stuff like that. Think of it as sort of like a game, but you can always get better. You're not limited by your keyboard or your mouse like that. So basically, I have this meditating app, Medito, and it's really simple. It's basically, if you're starting off, they offer courses. You don't have to pay for it. It's all free. Little courses where, for example, the first one is what is meditating. The second one is maybe deeper insights. One of them is loving gratitude, something like that. And there's around like 10 or 11 of these. I finished them, but they were really good, and each one like usually goes a little bit higher in length. By the end of it, it's around 15 minutes, the longest one I believe, and the shortest one is like at the beginning, like 2-3 minutes. It's basically just a dude telling you close your eyes, and then he just reminds you to breathe, and he tells you these little comments like, do you think there's a center of being, or do we just like observe thoughts? Like something like this. He asks you like questions. Sometimes it's a different one every single day, so they're really nice. Just select one of, I believe, 5 times there are. There's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and 20 minutes, I believe. And just select one of those times. It's a dude just reminding you all these things, and it's really, really good for meditating. They also keep track of your streaks. You can also do it without, to sit down and think and like observe thoughts. Don't think, because that's kind of not really meditating. You're supposed to observe the thoughts, kind of observe as third person almost. I'll get onto this later. It's actually a really interesting concept. But basically, you do this every single day, maybe like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I prefer 10 minutes, and I do it before I sleep because then I could just easily go to sleep. By the end of it, I'm like mad tired and I just go straight to sleep. Best sleep ever. Now, the brain also needs stimulation. I'm not talking about TikTok, scrolling. Ooh, that's a funny video, ha ha ha. Like, not that stimulation. It needs growing stimulation. These brain dead activities like going to bars, hanging out with friends, scrolling, listening to music, they're all kind of brain dead. Like, you don't need a brain. You're not even really using what you have. You're just kind of there. Unless, with that example, you're hanging out with your friends. Maybe you have really good friends and you're talking about really good subjects, like how to grow as a person, stuff like that. Then that's not really brain dead. But these other activities, scrolling, music, they don't require any growing in your brain. So how to do this? In my opinion, the best way to grow your mind, that provide that stimulation, no matter what age you're at, whether you're 90 or you're 15, this will provide really good growing stimulation. You probably guessed it by now. Learning. You just have to learn a little bit every single day. I'm not saying take a 50-minute lecture every single day. No, I'm not saying that. What I do every single day, I grab this book by my nightstand. Right now I'm reading 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. It's a really good book. And kind of a side note, he just goes through, 12 rules for life and sort of values, interesting values. And he's a psychologist, so he has that. But I'll say reading. It's the best way to learn. Just like as my example, I read one chapter every single day. They're like maybe 5 pages. I make sure I read 5 pages minimum every single day. So I read one chapter and I learn something new. He provides an example from like the Bible, like Adam and Eve, it's showing how good and evil with the apple, stuff like that. He provides examples, and even if you're reading, I would say don't read a fiction book because that's just like brain candy. It's not really that much unless you're reading a higher level fiction book. I wouldn't really recommend fiction books. I would say non-fiction books are where it's at, because if you're reading higher levels of books in general, you're gonna see new words too. You're gonna see new concepts, and brain's gonna grow. That's why I got my parents to start reading every single day too, because I don't want them to go brain dead. I want them to keep learning. Obviously, yeah, they're getting older, so relax, enjoy life too. But you have to learn. You have to expand that brain. Otherwise, it's gonna literally turn gray, and it's just gonna turn to matter, and just living, scrolling, breathing machine. If you read every single day, you need to do every single one of these every day. Journaling, reading, and all the other things I mentioned. You have to do them every single day, because otherwise that wrecking ball, it's gonna slow down, and it's gonna be tougher to push it again, and your brain's gonna decline. Now, besides reading, you can also like watch YouTube videos, but watching YouTube videos is only half the work. Sure, I introduce concepts to you now, but putting them into work, putting them into effect is the other 60% of the work. It's 50%, other 50% of the job. This also goes in my next method, which is you should understand the mind. Through all this daily practice of all these methods, you're gonna gain a new profound sort of profound way of thought. You're gonna see things differently. You're gonna be in a different perspective looking at life than your older self. Now, I have an example. Let's say you're gonna grow a switch as you do these things more, on and off. But rather than on and off, it's a first person and third person switch. So what is first person? let's see, I'm in first person, and I've done all of this every single day for 5-10 years, every single day. I started to develop the switch. It's still a little clunky. Sometimes it doesn't work, stuff like that. First person. I feel the emotions. My brain thinks of them and I feel them. Now let's switch that. I'm in third person. My brain creates the emotions and I observe them. I observe their roots. Why is my brain telling me it's feeling sad? Why does my brain want to keep scrolling? And then you observe that. You don't feel it necessarily. You choose to feel it. And even if you do feel it and you don't have much control, you start to see its inner roots, where it's coming from, where that emotion is coming from. This is what I mean by understanding the mind. This will make you a considerably tougher person, both mentally, and as I said at the beginning of the video, it's going to spread into your different areas of life. You're going to become stronger mentally, but if you have this switch, oh man, I'm in first person. Oh man, I don't feel like completing this workout. I want to go back to TikTok, start strolling. I'm in third person now. Oh man, I don't really want to complete this workout, but I know I have to. My brain wants to scroll, so I should probably do this workout, and by the end of it, I'll get that little bit of dopamine release, and I'll take away with these needs, like desires. So this is what I mean by higher level thinking, necessarily. You're going to put these into effect every single day, and it's going to grow over time. You can now push that wrecking ball with the little pinky. It's that easy. So just remember, practice these things every single day. Watching this video was barely half the work. You need to put them into effect. And it's summertime, honestly, especially where I am. If you're in Australia or somewhere else, maybe you're in Greenland. Shout out to my Greenland and Australia viewers. Maybe you're in not in summer, but honestly, any time is a great time to do this. Summer just is especially great because you have all this free time and you can devote it to just finding yourself. Imagine coming back to school next year and you used to be that guy who's, just scrolling during class. He goes to the bathroom, maybe he smokes, stuff like that. Maybe next year you're going to come there and you're going to be that guy who has a great outlook on life. He knows where he's going. He gets his work done and he still hangs out with his friends. He has a lot of fun and he's just a well-rounded person. Maybe you're going to be that person next year. That's only going to start if you put it into effect now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.